Hey, it's Jay and welcome back to the channel. First of all, before we do today's episode, I'd really like to extend my appreciation to you guys for the massive amounts of support I received on my last video, the Black Clover montage. It did really well. It's the best performing video on my channel so far, with over 150 views and 29 likes. I'd like to say thank you to all the guys who came in and supported the video, dropped a like, left a comment. I'd just really like to say how much I appreciated that, and looking forward to providing more content that people like here, as well as thank you for the support on my Getting Better at Brawlhalla episode 2, the one where I spoke about the terms. That one did pretty good as well, and if you are interested in the terms, there'll be a link in that video and in the comments of this video to a Reddit post that has a lot more terms if you are interested in finding out about a few more terms about the game. So yeah, thank you guys for the support. Also, I'd like to say, if you aren't subscribed, it would be a massive help if you just hit the subscribe button. I have a goal for my 2021 YouTube, which is to hit 80,000 subscribers, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could help me reach 100 subs by the end of this month. And let's jump into this video. So this is Getting Better Brawlhalla episode 3. So in this video, I'd like to go over positive habits that I'd like to develop to improve at Brawlhalla. Now it's new year, new year, you're trying to make positive habits and trying to do stuff differently than what you did in the previous year, and I believe these positive habits are habits that I want to develop, that I believe will help me get better at Brawlhalla. So on this list, the first habit that I have is spending a lot more time in training mode. Now, as it currently stands, I don't spend a lot of time in training mode. I wouldn't like to say avoid, but I have steered away from going in training mode. I usually just jump in experimental or jump into a rank and not really spend a lot of time in training mode, and that's not bad in and of itself, but I do think that I should spend a little bit more time in training mode, developing new techniques or working on new techniques, figuring out new skills, that kind of thing. So this year I kind of want to make it to be that I spend a lot more time there in training mode, practicing, learning about the game, and getting comfortable with the game in and of itself. Okay, and second, this also revolves around training mode, which is when learning a new combo, a string, move, or technique. A positive habit that I should develop is try to pick it up stage by stage or slowly. A lot of times I'll try to get a move in one go, and that usually doesn't end well and usually leaves me wasting a lot more time trying to get a move in one go, when breaking a move down into its individual parts and then performing those individual parts will lead to a greater success from what I've learned. So what I'm trying to say is, it's better to learn the inputs and the individual inputs and then connect those inputs together to form the combo or string, than it is to learn the whole string as one cohesive unit. So learn the inputs first, and then once you figure out the inputs, then you can do them faster and you can get them together as one cohesive unit. So instead of pressuring myself to learn that 3-hit true combo, I should probably learn that first part first, and then from there I proceed to string them together to learn everything as once. Next is reinforcing the stuff I know. A lot of times I notice inconsistencies in my gameplay. For instance, I drop side airs after spear D-light, which is a true combo. You shouldn't be dropping that, and I realize that I'm not as consistent at the game as I should be. so I drop things, drop true combos. And so maybe I should spend a little bit more time in training mode, or in matches, or with friends, or sparring matches with friends, working on being consistently able to pull off moves. Next thing I think I need to be working on is my ability to analyze the fight mid-fight. So after watching content creators, Egg Soup or Boomy or Sandstorm or any other Brawlhalla content creator, then you kind of notice that when they're doing certain types of gameplay, you can see them analyze their opponent. They can predict that, oh, he's gonna spot dodge, or he's going to dodge in, or he likes to jump. Maybe I should do something about that. And I think positive habit that I should develop is working on my ability to do that, to analyze my opponent mid-fight, to have a mental note of their patterns of movement, their dodges, that kind of thing, so I can be better able at punishing / predicting / being better at the game in that sense. Next habit I'd like to develop is using the replay function of the game to a better extent. So a lot of the times I just go into replay mode to look at a funny clip, or question BMG and why that hitbox is there, or what are those active frames, or some other absurd thing like BMG, I want back my elo, he shouldn't have hit me there, that kind of vibe. And not really using the tool as it would be most likely intended. For instance, I could really use it to analyze my fights, see where I missed a punish, or where I can improve on my movement or something like that, using the replay tool to analyze myself as well as analyze my opponent, and see how well during the fight I was at trying to analyze my opponent. So the next thing I want to develop, the next habit I want to develop is sparring against weapons that I'm not good at, and playing with weapons that I'm not good at. So personally, I don't like axe. It's probably one of my least favorite weapons to play against, and one of my least favorite weapons to play. It's not because it's a bad weapon, it's just I'm bad at the game, so I have trouble playing against it and playing with it. And so I want to use sparring with friends who are better at the game / better at using specific weapons, to kind of heighten my ability to play with / play against the weapon. So this doesn't have to be for weapon. Maybe you're weak to spamming, maybe you get a friend or somebody online. It's pretty easy to find people online. You have Discord, you have Reddit. I even found a Facebook group that you could just go and drop a room number and people there, and if you're polite enough you can ask them to help you. So if you're, for instance, me, I'm bad at axe, so I have a friend who's decent at playing axe, and I play against him to try to improve how I play against axe, so I don't get clobbered by an Ulgrim in ranked. So if you are having trouble with spammers, maybe you get a friend to spam at you, and you figure out ways of dealing with it. And another good tool in training mode as well is the set bot to do specific move. BMG has worked on training mode, so even if you don't have any friends or anything like that, you can set a bot to use a specific move, and that will help against spamming. But yeah, again, thanks for the support on the video, and if you don't mind guys, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. Subscribing really does help me out and helps the channel grow, and I really like to put together these kind of videos talking about ways that I see me and members of the community can take these nuggets of information from places on the internet and use them to improve at our gameplay. Also, as I said previously in the video, I would like to hit 100 subs by the end of this month, and if I do hit 100 subs, when either at the end of this month or whenever I do, I plan to do a big giveaway. As I stated in another video, I have a few extra codes for metadevs, for sidekicks, for community color, for, you know, titles, great witness titles and all that stuff. So I'm fully prepared to, like, you know, do a big giveaway to members of the community who have come through and helped support my content. So yeah, sub if you want that, if you want to see that happen. And yeah, thanks for watching the video.